Picture this. A remote farm in rural Germany. March 1922. Snow covers the ground. No neighbors for miles. A family of 6 lives there peacefully, or so it seems. Then, over a few days, they all vanish. When police finally arrive, they find something unimaginable. The entire family brutally murdered with a mattock. And evidence that the killer stayed in the house for days after the crime, eating their food, feeding their animals, sleeping in their beds. This is the Hinterkaifeck murders, one of the most chilling unsolved cases in history. Hinterkaifeck was a small isolated farm near Kaifeck, in Bavaria, Germany. It belonged to Andreas Gruber, a 63-year-old farmer known for being harsh and reclusive. He lived there with his wife Cecilia, 72, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, 35, her 2 children Cecilia, 7, and Joseph, 2, and the new maid Maria Baumgartner, 44, who had just arrived on March 31, 1922. The farm had a dark reputation. Andreas Gruber had served time in prison years earlier for incest. Rumors said he fathered his daughter, Victoria, youngest son, Joseph. The family kept to themselves. Neighbors described strange occurrences: footsteps in the attic, missing keys, newspaper pages that no one brought, and tools moved around. Andreas told people he heard footsteps in the hayloft at night, but found no one. The murders likely happened on March 31, 1922, the night the new maid arrived. All 6 victims were killed in the barn with a mattock, struck in the head repeatedly. The 2 children and Victoria were killed in the barn. Andreas, Cecilia Sr., and the maid were killed in the house. The bodies were arranged strangely, covered with hay in the barn, and the maid and elderly couple laid in their beds. The killer then lived in the house for several days. Neighbors saw smoke from the chimney after the murders. Food was eaten from the kitchen, the animals were fed. Someone even slept in the beds and used the stove. The youngest child, Joseph, was found still in his bassinet. He had been alive longer than the others, as his body showed signs of starvation. On April 4, 1922, young neighbors went to check on the family because no one had seen them at church or market. They found the barn door locked. Inside, they discovered the bodies under hay. Police arrived and found the house bodies soon after. The crime scene was shocking. No forced entry, no robbery, money and valuables untouched, no sexual assault confirmed. Footprints in the snow led from the forest to the farm, but none leaving. The killer had come and stayed. Over 100 people were questioned. A suspect named Lorenz Schlittenbauer, Victoria's former lover and possible father of Joseph, was investigated. He had a bad reputation and was seen near the farm, but no solid evidence. A traveling vagrant was suspected, but he had an alibi. A mentally ill neighbor was questioned but released. What makes this case terrifying? The killer fed the farm animals for days, showing he knew how to run the place. Someone slept in the beds and used the feather beds. Andreas Gruber had complained about someone living in the attic weeks before. A newspaper the family never subscribed to was found in the house. The maid had told her sister she was going to a cursed place before arriving. Theories. 1. It was an intruder who hid in the attic for days, planning the attack. 2. Lorenz Schlittenbauer, revenge or family dispute. 3. Victoria's ex-husband or someone from her past. 4. A random madman who stayed because he had nowhere else to go. No fingerprints were useful at the time. No murder weapon was ever definitively linked. The case was closed in 1955 with no resolution. The farm was demolished in 1923 because locals believed it was haunted. People reported hearing footsteps and seeing shadows even after the murders. The case inspired books, documentaries, and even horror films. It remains one of Germany's most infamous cold cases. Modern theories sometimes point to a serial killer active in the area, but no DNA survives in usable form. The murders are a perfect storm of isolation, paranoia, and a killer who simply stayed. Hinterkaifeck is more than a murder. It's a nightmare of the unknown. A killer who lived among the dead, fed the animals, slept in their beds, and vanished without a trace. Will we ever know who did it? Probably not. What do you think? Intruder, family member, or something else? Share your theory in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more unsolved horrors. Thanks for watching, and lock your doors tonight.